What is the very first word that comes to mind when you hear the name Mary Magdalene? Now, for generations, Christians have associated her with just one thing: sexuality. Now, she's been called the prostitute, she's been called the harlot, even sometimes the lover or wife of Jesus, as we've seen in modern fiction like The Da Vinci Code. Other media like Jesus Christ Superstar or Passion of the Christ, along with countless poems, literary sources, art pieces, they all associate her with prostitution. Why? Because a simple, deep-rooted lie was told so often that it drowned out the truth of her actual revolutionary role in Scripture. Now, the truth is, Mary Magdalene was a core, foundational figure in Jesus' ministry. Now, we know that she was a loyal follower of Jesus, healed by Jesus of 7 demons, and we don't know what those were, if they were physical or mental or spiritual. We're not sure, we're not told. We know she was a benefactor. Along with Joanna and Susanna, she was part of the group of women that helped finance and support Jesus' ministry, which was really essential at that time as they were traveling and preaching. And we know she was courageous. Mary Magdalene was present at the foot of the cross and at the crucifixion and at the burial when most of Jesus' disciples went running and hiding. But she showed up when it mattered the most. But her most significant moment comes at the empty tomb, because Mary was the first person to see the resurrected Jesus. And in that moment, the risen Christ calls her by her name, Mary. This isn't just an acknowledgement of the fact that she's there, but it's an act of identification. By removing any other connotations that the men at the time or the world would assign her. And then he gives her a command, a mission. Go and tell my brothers that I am ascending to my Father and to your Father, to my God and to your God. Go and tell them. Did you catch that? Jesus is commissioning her. He is telling Mary Magdalene to preach. And if that sounds foreign to you, I want to remind you, what is it that pastors today do? Go and tell. They share the good news of the resurrection. So this is Mary Magdalene's ordination moment. At this moment, she becomes the first post-resurrection preacher of the good news, the apostle to the apostles. So if Jesus gave her the single most important mission in Christian history, because we would not know about the resurrection had she not done what Christ told her, go and tell, why did the church get it so wrong? Well, even early on, her testimony was doubted. The male disciples thought her words were, quote, nonsense, because legally at that time, a woman's testimony was not considered valid. But the official, institutionalized silencing of Mary Magdalene began in 591 AD in a sermon by Pope Gregory I, who conflated all the Marys in Scripture, of which we know there are many, including the sinful woman who anoints Jesus' feet in Luke 7. So this unbiblical interpretation, or perhaps this intentional deception, created a 1,400-year-long smear campaign against Mary Magdalene's name to silence her power, and by extension, to justify silencing all women who have a call to ministry. Now, by focusing the conversation on Mary's sexuality, her spiritual authority was erased. But despite the smear and the doubt, Mary's witness remains. because her power isn't dependent on what or who people say that she is, but on the fact that Jesus chose her to be the first preacher of the resurrection. Now, maybe if her story hadn't been buried, the idea of women in ministry wouldn't be so appalling and scary to so many today. So I want to ask you this and leave you with these questions. Whose voices in your life are being silenced? Is Jesus trying to speak to you through an unlikely source? How can we listen to the voices that history has tried to bury? Because this collar that I'm wearing belonged first to Mary Magdalene. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching Translating Faith. I hope you'll continue to watch and subscribe. And if there's a specific topic you'd like me to cover, please let me know, and I'd really be happy to do so.